So in this video, I'm going to share with you the number one thing that I think you must do before you buy any property that you plan on fixing up and flipping. Hey, my name is Brandon Vineyard. If you're new to my channel, I've been a real estate broker here in the state of Florida and Alabama for over 23 years, and one of my specialties has always been listing and selling foreclosures. So over 20-something years, I've seen a lot of stuff when it comes to investment properties. So what I'm going to share with you is just based on my own experience. But absolutely, the first thing that you must do to any property that you're going to flip is you need to figure out and make sure that you can fix that property up, that it's eligible for VA and FHA loans. And this is really important, and I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, first, think of it this way. There's only going to be a certain amount of buyers, a select group of buyers for your property no matter what. And it doesn't matter if it's the house you live in or if it's a rental property or if it's a flip property. Any property that you sell, there's only ever going to be a select group of buyers. Now, that group right there is going to be weeded down based on location, based on price, size, amenities. Each one of those is going to weed down that, potential buyer pool. The last thing you want to do is limit the buyer pool even more based on your property's condition. And that's exactly what you'll do if your property is not VA or FHA eligible. So let me show you some of these stats real quick. Next, I want to show you the numbers here in 2024, and this is the number of new house sales in the United States. It's a chart from 2000 to 2024 by financing type in the 1000s. And this is an article from Statista.com. I'll put a link below if you really want to take the time to go look at it. But I'm going to show you really quick. 2024, there were 513,000 conventional loans, 89,000 FHA loans, 34,000 VA loans. There were more FHA loans than there were cash deals, which is a good sign because a lot of the FHA loans are going to be first-time home buyers. So remember that when you're doing your flips. One of your biggest buyer pools is going to be first-time home buyers, FHA loans, especially in where the price range where most of your flips are going to be. If you look at those numbers, that means you're taking away 19.3% of your potential buyer pool by not allowing buyers to go FHA or VA to buy your property. You're taking away a fifth of the buyer pool. That's crazy. Here's something else you got to think about. Those numbers, those are nationwide. Imagine being in an area like I'm in Northwest Florida. We're surrounded by military bases. I have a property right now that is probably 5 miles away from Herbert Field and Fort Walton Beach. All the buyers, or 90% of them, are all going to be going VA. Everyone that's shown the property here in the first couple of days, they're all VA buyers using a VA loan. You take that away, those numbers of 19.3% are going to be a lot higher than other areas of the country. Now you understand how important it is not to lose that 20% or more of your potential buyer pool by not doing the right repairs. Let's talk about some of the actual requirements that the VA and FHA have and how you can learn more about them. Okay, this part is really simple. All you need to do is go to Google and just type in something like VA property requirements, and you're going to see tons of stuff pulled up. And probably at the top of your page, you're going to see Chapter 12 Minimum Property Requirement Overview. And this is the sheet that you're looking for from VA, and this is going to explain and go over all their minimum property requirements. So this is one document that you can get a hold of very easily. Like I said, it's everywhere online. Just Google it, it'll pop right up. But this will go through and show you all the stuff, including swimming pools, attics, your roofs, everything that the VA appraiser has to pay attention to and go over is going to be in this document right here for the VA. And it's the same thing for FHA. You're going to find just tons of articles and tons of requirements. Lots of info to go through and read and look over to get a better understanding of what the exact requirements are. But like I said earlier, it should be that big a deal for anyone that's doing a real, honest to God, top to bottom, flip, where everything you do is going to be new. Let me give you a quick example of something I've seen happen before that brings this kind of all into light. And here's a question for you. How many layers of shingles will an FHA loan allow? Well, the answer is 3. But here's the kicker. If the roof has 2 or more layers and a repair is required, then you have to remove all the shingles off the roof and start from scratch. Okay, that'll wrap up this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll be glad to answer. And if you want any type of coaching or any type of advice or to pick my brain, like a lot of people ask me, just send me an email. I'll be glad to talk to you, figure out something. I do offer some one-on-one coaching, so that's always a possibility. Anyway, have a great day. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.